everyone, it's Anya here and I'm back with another video for Ophelia Talks, and in this tutorial I am going to be showing you how I am going to be putting these squares together. These are proper solid squares and I made this in a tutorial, so in a past tutorial, so go and have a look at that. I have made 6 of these because I am wanting to use it to cover a cushion, because you know I'm doing a whole range of techniques and stitches and all kinds of things cushion size, so I don't have to make the whole blanket. So this is the cushion that I am going to be covering over. So the one side will be this white and I am going to put this rainbow on it. This is the large rainbow that I've made. Again, tutorial a few weeks ago, I think. And then on the other side of the cushion there is this. I have also got a tutorial for this square, but I changed my mind. So in the tutorial I made one square, all the colors, but then I said if you want to put them together, you will have to do your last row for putting them together. But I've changed my mind on how I am going to put them together, and I have put them together using a single crochet, which is what I'm going to show you on this one here. So I've put these together already, obviously, because that's the one side of my my cushion. So this is going to be on the one side of my cushion. I am going to have to do, I think, another round of purple to go around it to make it big enough, but that's fine. I will do that later, and then also I will, once I've done this side, I will then put both sides together with that same single crochet technique. So that should be able, you should be able to do that as well if you're making a cushion, of course. So for this technique, obviously you just have to make your whole square. Don't worry about the last row. That technique, I have also got videos of that, so do please go and have a look at that. I think it's called Join As You Go, where you sort of tack into the previous thing after you've done your cluster each time, and that way you connect your squares. But today, obviously, I am now going to show you how I am going to do my single crochet line of, for putting my blanket together, so to speak, or my cushion in any case. So when you do that, doing it in single crochet, what happens is you work in lines. So you are going to connect these two first, and then you don't stop, but then you connect, you keep going. Okay, so you keep going. So you do your vertical lines first, or your horizontal line first, and then you do the other line. So in a way, if you do that for a blanket, for example, you'll save yourself a lot of sewing in, because you're doing it in long lines. Okay. Right, let's get started. So we need the color that you are going to put it together with, and I just thought I would do it in white. Is this the outside or the inside of the ball? Oh, of course, always the wrong side, isn't it? This is the inside of the ball. I am going to have to do a tutorial on how I manage my balls because a lot of people seem to have a lot of, well, I have a lot of trouble with it as well, don't worry. It's a constant battle of trying not to get it all entangled, so don't worry if you have problems keeping it. Look, this is what comes out then, and then you have to be really careful and just pull that apart a little bit, and then it works again. So yeah, let's find the end of the yarn, do a slip knot, and what I tend to do is I do one chain, just to give yourself a little bit of leeway. Not that it's necessary, just that's what I do. Then you take your first two, we're going to go that way first. So you take your first two squares. This is the good side and this is the good side. So what I am going to do is put the good sides together, pick it up, and then I'm going to find, you know, we were looking here, we were always marking the treble crochet. Well, that's what we have to look for now. So we're looking for that bigger crochet, and that's the one here. And I am going to pick up the outside V. So there's the inside V. Let me just put both of them on my hook. So we're going to pick up this one here. So just that one. And then on the other side, you are also, look, these are the two V's. I'm also going to pick up the outside one on the other side. Okay. No, that's not right. I think that's the one. Okay. So your inner loops stay untouched. You are using your outside loops. And then we are just going to do a single crochet. Did that split? No. Okay. Next, again, pick up the outside loop and the outside loop and do a single crochet. And this way, you're going to continue all the way to the end. So that treble crochet is our middle of our corner, and I am going to do that treble crochet going this way, but then also going that way. Okay, so you'll have to use that twice. And when you pick up the outer loops like this, you're going to get a really nice effect on the other side. And I always recommend, after you've done about 5 stitches like I have here, open it up and have a look. See, you've got a little ridge here, then you've got sort of a valley there made by your single crochet, and then you've got the ridge there again. Now, if you did not pick up just the outside V, and let me show you what would happen, then you will see that. And that's why I suggest, okay, so now I've made a deliberate mistake. That's why I suggest, look, to check every so often. See, look, there is something wrong here. Okay, it doesn't look like these ones here, so I have made a mistake there. So you know, to just take those couple of stitches out again. That was easy. Take them out again. Let's have a look. Have I taken it out already? There we go. That's the one that I had to take out. So that's what I tend to do. It's a bit slow, this process, as with anything in crochet, basically. But I like the look of it. And like I say, if you're doing this for a blanket size, you can do long lines of all along the blanket before you actually have to cut off your yarn and sew it in. So it'll save you sewing in a starter and an end for each part or for each square of your blanket. So I do about 5 or 10 stitches, and then I just open it up, check, and I close it up again and continue. So this is how I'm going to continue until the end here, and I will see you there and I will tell you what you need to do next. I have now made it to the end of my line here. As you can see, there's a lovely little ridge in the middle here. I have attached both my squares together. So I have just used the treble crochet here, and that's the end of that line. Now I am going to do a chain, and that is just to give it some space to come back to do this direction, okay, when you do that later on. Now basically what you're going to do is here you're going to do the same thing as here, but you've already started, so you're just going to continue with these two here. So looking for that treble crochet top, the outside V of that, and then here the outside one of there, and you do a single crochet, and you continue as you were before, making sure that you use the stitches that are lying on the opposite side, the one that's sort of straight across. And that way you do the whole line like that. So in my case, I'm only doing these 6 squares, or the 3 pairs. But obviously, if you're using this for a blanket, then you will have to do, you're sort of working in strips, and you're putting 2 lines together first, and then, see, look, like that. Right, so that's going well, and I have a little bit of space here for in a moment when I go the other side. So like I said, if you are doing a blanket, you'll be putting those together. When you've done that, you'll put the next lot on here. Okay, so you'll add a third on, and so forth and so on, and then you will, once it's then together, you will have this funny looking blanket with holes. But then, of course, you are going to do the horizontal or the vertical lines, okay? So I'm going to continue this until I get to the end of my line here, and then I will show you how to do this one there. I'll see you in a moment. So I've come to the end of my round here. I've just gone into the V of that treble crochet, and I just do a chain because that's what I do. And then I am going to cut off my yarn. So like I said, if you're doing this for a whole blanket, make sure you've done your whole strip of your squares. And so here we are. So we've got them all together just by one horizontal line at the moment. Now we are going to fold it in a different way, like this, and we are going to do these strips here. So I'm going to go this way, and then when I've done that one, you fold that one back, and you go this one, and you do this one. So let's get started. And it's the same thing again as before. And in here, I am going to make sure that I use those treble crochets again, so that I don't have any gaps. And then those treble crochets are used twice, horizontally and vertically. So a little chain to get started, find the horizontal one here, that one there, the horizontal one, find the the treble crochet one, oh my word. Oh, okay, and off we go again. So this now means we are doing them in the other direction, and all the little gaps in our work will slowly disappear. I will see you at the end of the round. I have just made it to the middle of my project here, and before we did a little chain between the two to allow for the other side of the single crochets that were going to come through. Well, we need to do that here as well. So I do a single crochet, and then I'll go and find that treble crochet that we did, and I do that one again as well. Okay, so and then we just continue. So don't forget to do the little chain in between. It will make it a lot more relaxed, your project. Otherwise it will start sort of, pulling, I think. See, so this is our middle here now. So that looks quite nice. Right, so I have now put my squares together. I have just finished doing one of these, and I think it's looking really nice. Now I have both my sides ready for my cushion. I am just going to do a couple of rounds on each to make them slightly bigger so that they would fit the cushion better, and then I will show you how I am going to finish the cushion with putting the rainbow on top. So I'll be back. So I am now ready for assembly. I have put it on my cushion, and it is just about the size of the cushion. So what have I done? Around the rainbow squares, I've done 3 rounds of granny clusters. So this was the round around the square, and then I've done 3 extra rounds around the whole thing. Okay, so that made it bigger. And then here with the solid squares, I have also done 3 extra rounds around it. So it is also bigger. I kept doing the same thing in the corners as I did in the corners of the solid square. By this time, I was able to recognize the treble crochet that's in there, but of course, you know we used the stitch markers, and of course keep using the stitch markers if you are not sure. Okay, so this is the cushion I am going to use it for, and yeah, look, it fits nicely over it. I'm going to have one problem because I think there's more stitches on these sides of this one than there is of here, but I'm not too worried about that. I am going to do a single crochet to crochet it together, and sometimes I'll just do you know, a stitch here and then use the same stitch on this side. I don't mind doing that. For the cushions, you can't really tell that I've sort of fudged it a little bit. Okay, so I am going to turn the wrong side. So this is the wrong side and this is the wrong side. I'm going to turn the wrong sides together for now, just to have a look. And I am going to, I haven't cut off my yarn here, so that's where I'm going to start working. I cut the other one off, so so the wrong sides are on the inside, the right sides are on the outside. That's working properly, you know, sort of that's the way it's going to be. And here I am going to have to make a decision on what is the corner and where they tally up the stitches. So let me just do that like so. Yeah, so that's sort of roughly. I don't mind if it isn't exactly right, because I'll just, you know, I'll be able to fudge a little stitch later on, I am sure. So I did a chain, and then I picked up the 2 inner loops, and that one split, and that came along. Why did that come along? No, that's okay now. And then I do a single crochet. And that's how I am going to continue. Now, as I said, I'm going to have more stitches on the right side. So what I am going to do, okay, each time I meet this, so in between the 2 clusters, or not in between, you know, sort of the first stitch of the cluster, I'm going to pick up the next stitch on the other side and do a single crochet, then go back into that same stitch here and pick up the next stitch on the other side. So now we've used 2 of the white stitches and only 1 of the purple one, and that will be beneficial towards the end of the round. So I am going to do this several times, because I think, yes, of course, why, I can hear you shouting at the screen, just count them and then you'll know. I just I don't want to count them, basically. I'm just going to see how it goes. Oh, that's, I picked up 2 of these here. I'm just gonna, you know, I like doing it like this. I call it Russian roulette. You know, sort of once in a while I do a double one, for example here, and I'll use the same stitch in the purple. I'll use the next one, there we go, of the white. And you can't tell that I've done that. And it makes that the white also gets used up more. Oh, I think I did. Oh, look at that. I picked up, well, see, there's me not checking. Okay, so let's do it again. So yeah, I mean, it was only a couple of stitches, so that's okay. See, that's why I always tell you to check at regular intervals so you don't have to do. So I'll use the same purple and I'll use a white one. There we go. So you don't have to undo too many stitches. So yeah, so I'm going to work my way around my work here. And like I said, I'll be, oh, I did the same thing again. Like I said, I'll be sort of, you know, trial and error for the amount of stitches. I'll be doubling up at some points and just gauging it really. If it doesn't work out in the end, it doesn't work out. I'll sort it out later. Okay. Right. I will see you when you have done your when you have done your 3 sides, because obviously we are going to have to put the cushion in. Okay. So I will see you in a moment. Okay, so I have just finished the 3 sides. I have had to fudge quite a few stitches, but it's working out, and you can't tell. So to be honest, you know, it's a cushion project. It's not going to be, you know, obvious. So this is my front. I am putting the front of the cushion onto this side so it doesn't shine through too much. And then this is the white side. And yeah, it's looking, look, there's 1 stitch there. Never mind. Right, so there we are. So I'm now putting it all in, and then I shall continue closing up my cushion, and I'll be back. So I'm just doing my last single crochet here. I am going to just do a slip stitch under that first single crochet that I did, and there we are. It's finished that round. Let's cut off the yarn, and I am going to just pull it through, and very quickly I will sew in the end. So make sure all your ends are sewn in. I'm just going to do it very quickly, just like that, into the purple bit there. There we go. Right, and then we are ready to put the rainbow on. So I have this side of the cushion. I've got the large rainbow, which I made a couple of videos ago, and I would suggest sewing it on. Just get a you know, sort of white cotton sewing thread and gently sew it on in the shape sort of that rainbow. But you know how much I like the hot glue gun. And of course, yeah, I'm just putting on some hot glue like so, and putting it down, making sure that the shape is okay, and then I just put it all along the edge again. Not too much, just little blobs of it, and there we go. And that will keep it in position where we want it. There we go. Slightly, yeah. There's a little thread there. Oh dear. And I think it's fine. You know, nobody can tell that you've hot glued it on. And why not, eh? Right, so there is one side of our cushion. And then here we have the other side. So let's have a look at it in the sofa. Okay, so we have a little Miss Layla in the sofa at the moment, and she does not want to move, so I am not going to make her. So I've just put the cushion next to her, and she says it's okay. And yeah, so there's some of the other previous cushions I made. So this one is quite a bright one, and then here we have the other side. There we go, look at that. So I think it's a nice idea, you know, certainly for a children's bedroom, for example, if you have a rainbow themed one, I think it will, you know, be very nice to do that. So here we are. Layla says hello. 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 No. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, cushions finally finished. See you in the next video. Bye.